I am Stars Tina, and I want to welcome you to the 7 a.m. Cup of Motivation. How did you sleep last night? So, if you didn't know, we are back. 7 a.m. We are here to bring you the motivation, the inspiration, and the education. Why? Because I feel everyone needs that every now and again, right? I know I certainly do. So, if you didn't know, this is the month of Women's History. Each day this month, I'm going to come through and I'm going to share one of the wonderful champions that we're going to celebrate for the month. So on the bottom, Renee's going to put the person that we're celebrating today. Yesterday, if you did not know, we honored and saluted Simone Biles. If you don't know who she is an amazing black, beautiful queen who just tumbles and twists and turns all over the gymnastics floor. Whenever I look at her, I think of my little niece because my sister put my niece in gymnastics when she first started walking. And then like now she doesn't even want to do it anymore, but she's still very flexible and tumbles and all that great stuff. But Simone Biles, absolutely beautiful woman. And today we're celebrating another beautiful woman for Women's History Month. And I was thinking yesterday, like, well, why do they do this? Like, do they have a Men's History Month? I wonder. I'm gonna have to search that one because I don't know. But Women's History Month. Uh, the reason why I think that we do this is because women, for the longest time, had just been on the bottom of the totem pole. If you think about it, like, were they able to vote back in the day? And someone told me once, like, it was a long time before a woman could actually open a bank account on her own. She couldn't do it. She had to like do it with her husband. So that's very, very important that we recognize women. And I'm so excited for today's woman, Michelle Obama. Hey! Now, I have to share my Michelle Obama story with you guys, okay? I must share this with you. So I remember I was working in New York Sports Club and I was a sales rep. Yes, I was a sales rep. I've done a little bit of everything, but I was a sales rep. It was a New York Sports Club. And this is when I first lost all my weight. Now, you know, when you first lose your weight, you go shopping, you're buying this, you're buying that. You're like, hey, I look good. And I went to H&M. Anyone ever go to H&M? Very good store. And I bought this dress. And the dress had lines that went across like this. And there's certain ways you should go shopping to fit your body. But, you know, my body was tight. My body was tight, tight, tight. And this dress was a 7/8 and it was loose. It wasn't like tight. And I remember I looked at the TV and Michelle Obama had the exact same dress on. I was like, oh my gosh. Good morning, Ashley girl. How you doing? Renee, make sure we hit up Ashley so we can interview her this week. Because if you guys didn't know, each day this month, we're interviewing a black person. Well, it doesn't have to be black, but yeah, because you're not black, Renee. We're interviewing you today. Each day this month, we're going to interview someone. But today we're celebrating Michelle. That's my Michelle Story family. I wore the exact same dress as Michelle Obama. Now, what makes her so great and magnificent for me is because she held down her husband. I personally believe that the woman is the backbone of the man. Because if you think about it, if you're a man, you go through a lot of stuff, right? Mentally, physically, like all sorts of things. And you need that rock behind you. You need that strong woman. And that is what Michelle did for her husband. All right, so here on this 7 a.m. Cup of Motivation today, we're going to talk about 3 things you want to do before 7 a.m. Now, I have to be totally honest with you guys. It's 7:09 right now, and I've only done one of those things, and that's drinking water. That's not the first tip. Renee's going to put up here the first tip because she's that amazing. So the reason why you want to do these things before 7 a.m. is because it's great for your mind, it's great for your body, it's great for your soul. But for some reason, I don't know why, but I've got this pain from like here all the way down to here. I've had it for like 3 weeks now. And it goes, it comes, it goes, it comes. And when it first started, I did everything, family. I put a heating pad on it. I got a massage. My mother gave me drugs. Like, and it's still there. My daughter says it's trauma. My daughter was digging into my shoulder. Anyway, yesterday it was still there. And last night I was like, okay, I didn't have to teach because you guys know I have an online fitness boutique studio. But the cool thing is being able to put things off on other people, right? So Tuesdays and Thursdays is our cardio days. If you want to join in, we have cardio. Who is that? I can't even see. I think this is Mary. Oh, it's my mommy. Hi, mommy. Yes. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are our cardio days, and I don't teach those days. So I said, okay, Tina, maybe your body needs rest, so you just stay in the bed. And I did not set an alarm clock. Now, normally my body will wake up between 4 and 5 o'clock. And this morning it was just like, I'm not getting up because I could like barely move my shoulder. And then I heard blip, blip. That's my girl Renee. So the one thing you want to do is move your body. So if you want to join me right now, I'm going to move my body just a bit because practice what you preach, right? And I said before 7, even though it's after 7, but that's okay. Uh, that's the first thing you want to do. And if you need some help with what to do, tap into my community, the Shooting Stars Collective. We have classes every single morning. Now, if you're like me, and you missed class this morning, it's okay because you can go to my YouTube channel. Go to the YouTube channel right now, hit subscribe, and watch a video. And the cool thing about the videos, peeps, we have a variety of classes on there. We've got my mom on there for the Silver Stars. So if you're over 60, if you're over 70, you can get on there and move your body with my mother. If you like yoga, you can come through and move with Betsy. If you need something like me, I'm gonna hit a Chris class today because Chris does mindful movement. She does things to help you with your stretching and your movement. Or perhaps you like that cardio stuff, you can hit up with Renee. Or if you want to go beast mode, you got me. So tap into our videos on YouTube. Alrighty, that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, drink water. So I want to talk to you guys really quick about the type of water you drink. So this right here is distilled water. This is one that I had yesterday, 9.5. Yes, I repeat, yes. It's important in the quality of the water that you're drinking. And why is this? Now, I know if you're a woman like me and if you're born in the 70s, I'm just leave it like that, okay? If you were born in the 70s, you remember back in the day, we just go to the tap, drink the water, we'd go outside, eat dirt. We didn't even have seat belts. We did stuff like that, right? Nowadays, things are all different. You have to make sure your water is 9.5 and all this and the other. But yes, drinking water is so important. You want to do that in the morning. It's also super important that if you want, because some people are like, I don't like water. I don't like water. It tastes horrible. Grow up, first of all. But you can put stuff in your water. Strawberries, blueberries, maybe some lemon in there. Super important. So that is tip number 2, is to make sure that you're drinking your water every single day. I have to be totally honest with you guys. It feels really weird to be getting up this late, but it's okay. It's okay. All right. So that's tip number 2, to have a better feeling, to feel good, to move, and to just have a glorious day, is move your body. Now, tip number 3 is self-care. Now, of course, in the self-care, you have your normal stuff like brush your teeth and wash your face, because I did do that this morning. I even threw on a red lip for you guys because that's a little secret, guys. If you want to pop and you're not really there, just throw on a red lip. Am I popping this morning? Help me out. How did I do this morning? This little quick dootsie do. Am I popping with the red lip? So morning and evening rituals are so important. If you're like, what is she talking about? Because maybe you're Tina 1.0. See this right here, this beautiful sculpted opulence beauty right here is Tina 2.0. Tina 1.0 back in the day didn't do any type of self-care at all. The only self-care I did was brush my teeth, wash my face and my body or whatever, and get out the door. I would legit just go, 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 go. But now, baby, let me tell you, Tina 2.0, she is magnificent. You see on their journal, pray, meditate. I don't care what the order is. Now, on an average day, okay, on a normal day, I would just lay in bed and I'll just start stretching first. I might say my little prayer there. I'll talk to my God, talk to my Lord, right? Lord, Heavenly Father, thank you for waking me up this morning. Yes, I'm doing it right now because I haven't done it yet. Thank you for waking me up. Thank you for moving my body. Thank you for letting this pain in my shoulder go away just a bit because it's not as bad as it was. So thank you, God, for that. So the first thing you want to do is pray. And some of you probably say, I don't pray, Tina. That's not my thing. I'm a spiritual person. What? What are you talking about? Now, I may have shared this with you yesterday, but years ago. This was years ago, long, 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 long time ago. When I was a single mom and I was doing the most, like I was here, there, and I didn't have a choice, right? When you have 2 little children and you want the best for them, and I did everything for my kids, guys. Let me tell you, I had them in everything: football, cheerleading, gymnastics, dance, baton, soccer, volley, like everything. All right. And it's not cheap. We lived in Rahway, New Jersey, and everything cost. So I was always working. I really didn't have much time to do anything. And I remember someone said to me, Tina, do you pray? And I was like, I don't have time to pray. What are you talking about? I gotta work. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. I was always all over the place. And I remember one time I actually forgot my son in preschool. Yes, he was in preschool. I was at work. The preschool school, they called me and they were like, Miss Wilson, you forgot to pick up your son from school. I was like, oh my gosh. Now my grandmother watched him, but my grandmother didn't drive. So I had to call a taxi to come pick up my son. That's how much all over the place and doing everything I was. So praying, your faith is so important, family and friends, so important. And you probably noticed in the past month, Tina has dove in like Michael, or I don't know his name. Who's the guy who won all the awards in the Olympics for swimming? I think his name is Michael. If anyone knows, type it in the chat. Help me out. But I say that to say, or you can do the backstroke, right? Do the backstroke and or the butterfly. Is there a butterfly stroke where you're like, I really want to learn how to swim really good. Let me tell you why. So Michael Phelps. See, that's why I love that girl. I love that girl. I love my peeps. Michael Phelps. Yes, I'm the Michael Phelps of the world right here. So I'm gonna share my swimming story with you, okay? Here you go, here you go. So when I was 16, because when you're 16, you think you're the bomb, right? So my grandmother let me go to Bermuda with my Aunt Wendy. Now, America and Bermuda are totally different. Do we have any island people out there? Any island people? I'll give you my island. We got my Jamaican people, we got my Caribbean people, my Virgin Island people, but I'm the Bermudian one, okay? Don't ask me what accent that is. I'm gonna stop. Anyway, when I was 16, my grandmother let me go to Bermuda with my Aunt Wendy. Now, my Aunt Wendy, she was probably 60, probably in her 30s now that I think about it. She didn't want to hang out with a 16-year-old, right? She wanted to get her freak on. She wanted to go. So I hung out with my cousin. But to let you guys know, in Bermuda, 16, you're legal. Like you can drive. They don't really drive. They ride mopeds. And my cousin and I, we were hanging out. But I remember she couldn't swim and I couldn't swim. And we were determined to teach ourselves how to swim. And they had this thing called a dock. I don't know if you guys know what a dock is. It's something off the edge of the water, and I think boats come in, sitting on the dock of the bay. What is wrong with my brain? Do you see how my brain just bounces all over the place? Anyway, we said we teach ourselves how to swim. So we taught ourselves how to swim, and we were so excited. So I do know how to swim because at 16, we taught ourselves. So 16. Now let's fast forward. This is a long story. I'm sorry. We're fast forwarding to about 3-4 years ago. If you didn't know, I have a boys nonprofit program in honor of my Sunny Boy, and we took our boys whitewater rafting. We took them whitewater rafting. Now, when you go whitewater rafting where we went, the water was very, very calm. And I use this visual a lot when I meditate. Anyway, we're all in our boats, little wharfs, whatever you call them, in the water. Everyone's in them. And everyone starts, and you have life vests on. You have a life vest on, a big old life vest. It's huge. So everyone starts getting out in the water and just floating around. The story is so funny and embarrassing. And they're just floating around, and I'm like, I want to get in the water. I want to get in the water. Now, mind you, I swim, but I don't swim. I swim, but I don't swim. So anyway, I jump out in the water, and for some reason, I don't know why. I don't know if my life vest just broke or something, but Tina was panicking. Tina was freaking. I'm like, and the little boy, he's like, Miss Tina, you okay? And I'm like, and my husband at the time literally had to come and get me. He came and got me, threw me back in the boat. I freaked out. I don't know what happened. So ever since then, low key, I don't think I can swim anymore, people. I know, embarrassing, right? It is so embarrassing. So Renee and I, in our minds, we're taking swimming lessons at the YMCA. We're doing a triathlon. I don't know how that story got in here with praying and meditation, but yeah, praying and meditating. Forgive me for getting all over the place. So swimming, dock of the bay, Bermuda. I'm taking two, crew. All righty. So that's the first one right there, praying. That's one thing you do. Oh, I was talking about diving in. There we go. See, I found my way back. This past month, I've been diving in like Michael Phelps to my faith. So every morning I am praying, and every night I'm reading my Bible. Every Sunday, I was talking to a new client yesterday, and he wanted to schedule an appointment for Sunday, and I was like, I don't know about that, because I listen to about 3 sermons on Sunday. I can't choose just one. We've got my agape at 9 a.m. and this is all virtual. So, and I may, if you're in my circle, you're getting one of these text messages because I'm sending them out. You're going to see agape at 9 a.m. and then 11:30, I'm going to Elevate Restoration Church. And at 12:30, we're going to One the Potter's House with my daughter in California. So that's my Sunday, the praying, the meditation, the faith. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I realized all the stuff I've done in the past 3 years. And if you didn't know, I wrote a book. The book is called No More Traumedy. A traumedy is when the energies of a trauma and a tragedy collide. When this occurs, life-changing experiences occur. And in the book, I write down all the things that I've done in the past 8 years to push me through my trauma, like yoga, like meditation, like walking, exercise, making crystals. And for some reason, I still found myself with this crying, with this hurt pain that was like pulling my heart out. And I was just like, what is wrong? And I realized I wasn't diving into my faith 150%. So that is why I decided to swim like Michael Phelps this past month to faith. That was the point of the story, guys. So yes, by the way, order your book, No More Traumedy. Attached to that, I'm doing an 8-week program. It starts next in 2 weeks. And this Saturday, I'm doing a free workshop. So if you want to sign up for this free workshop on Saturday, it's all based on my book, No More Traumedy. So that's the first thing you want to do is pray. I know I took a long time talking about prayer, but that's okay. I feel like I should give you a verse, a Bible verse. I don't know what it's from. I think it's from Matthew because I was reading Matthew last night and they were talking about a mustard seed. And I'm sure my amazing girl Renee is going to put the verse on the bottom where it's from in the Bible, the faith of a mustard seed. I don't know the exact word, the wording, but I know I'm trying to remember his name. He's a black guy. He's bald headed. He's on Family Feud now. He's very popular. He's a comedian. I know his name. Okay. Anyway, he writes about 300 things you should do for the year that you want to do. And he talks about this speech, this verse in the Bible a lot, the faith of a mustard seed. That's all you need in life. And when I was reading it last night in Matthew, they were talking about sowing seeds and how they had planted some seeds, and I guess the devil or someone came in and put some bad seeds in. Thank you, and I knew she would. Matthew 17:20 for, see, I don't have my glasses. I'm sorry, guys, but you can read it right there yourself. That's the verse right there that talks about the faith of a mustard seed. And that's what you have to have in life. And I didn't have that before. That's probably why my pain was so strong. And now I'm able to turn things around because that's what we have to do in life, family. We have to turn our stories around, take that pain and just switch it. For example, instead of me being upset and like, oh, I don't have my son, I say, I get to have 21. I got to have 21 years with my son. I get to get up in the morning and motivate you. I get to exercise. I get to go to work. That's how we want to look at things. So that's what happens when you put faith into your life. It makes things so much brighter. All right, I'm going to move forward with faith. If you want to tap in more, tap in more. That's the first thing you want to do before 7 a.m. The second thing that I like to do is meditate. Now, I'm so proud of myself, guys. I have advanced. I've advanced to my own meditation. So when I first began, I'm not sure if you've ever heard of Deepak Chopra. He has an amazing 21-day yoga challenge. I wouldn't say it's a challenge, but yoga program. He has two of them. He has one for abundance and another one for something else, and it's great. And I would always do those over and over and over again. And I actually started that during COVID. So since 2020, I've been doing that meditation with him. Then I'm like, Tina, it's time to move forward, because usually it's good to meditate by yourself. And then I found this other woman on YouTube. So very simple. Get on YouTube, type in meditation, and I listened to hers. And the cool thing is she sounds exactly like my girl, Angeline. I was like, Angeline, you want to side doing some meditation? Because it's not the person's face. It's just like a picture of this cartoon character. And I would do that. And I think it was yesterday, I decided, I heard some music playing in the room. And I was like, you know what, Tina? Because I was about to hit the YouTube video. I was like, no, do it yourself. So I just sat there. And right now, I just want to invite you to how I meditate. I usually sit on the floor or lie on the bed, depending on how I'm feeling. You just want to keep still. And a lot of people are like, I don't want to meditate. I can't keep still. I don't have time for that. If you don't have time for yourself, you got a problem, peeps. And do you know the very first person who told me I needed to meditate? That was my son. He was like, yo, ma. He always talked like that. Yo, ma, you need to meditate, okay? You're always, okay, maybe I'm not saying his voice that way, but that's how I hear his voice in my head. He's like, you need to meditate. And I'm just like, ah. So I remember one day I just laid on the end of the floor and I just laid there. I'm like, what is the purpose of this? But what I do now is I put my palms up if I feel I need more energy from the universe, from my God, give me more energy. And then palms down if I feel I need to be a bit more grounded. If I'm all over the place, I'll put one on my heart, one on my chest. just so I'm here with it. So meditating, and I did it yesterday, and music helps a lot if you have the right type of music, and you can meditate to any type of music. You can put meditation and prayer together. Some people do that. You can listen to gospel music, you can listen to nature, whatever. But it's super important to quiet the mind, be still, so important. And the third thing that I want to advise you to do for self care is to journal. Journaling is so important. I'm doing a two-part journal series because I'm adding on to my 300 list. I'm not quite to my 300. We were supposed to do this last year and I didn't quite hit my 300. I know you did your 300, Carla. I'm very proud of you because I kept screaming at her every day, do your 300, do your 300, do your 300. And it just goes to show, family, you need a coach. You need an accountability partner. I didn't have anyone there saying, do your 300, do your 300. So my 300 is almost done. So the 300 is in the back of my journal, and in the front is what I'm going to write about. Some days it may be one line, one day it may be 2 pages, whatever. But it's great to get all that stuff out of your head. You see how I'm just diarying of the mouth with all of you this morning because I did not journal yet. When I journal, I get some of the stuff out of my head. So again, that accountability. Get on Amazon, get that journal. Get the journal. So I actually have 2 journals, one for fitness and then one for my mind and stuff. So when you're getting out of your head, it helps you so much. If you're just tapping in, we are talking about 3 things you want to do before 7 a.m. 3 things. Now, again, depends on what time you go to bed, what time, you do all that sort of stuff. But 3 things you want to do before you see the world. I'm going to change the topic to that. Yes. The first one is move your body, exercise, stretch. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. Second thing is drink water. So important. And the third thing is self-care. And I put a whole bunch in that bucket right there. Journaling, praying, meditation. There's so many more things that you can do. Today we have a special guest. This special guest is about to come through. Her name is Renee. And before she comes through, I just want to share how important this woman is to you. People will show you their true colors. I always say you have that representative that comes to you. And this representative could be a man, it could be a woman, because they want you to like them, right? They want, hey, I want to be your friend. I want to be your man, whatever. And they show you this face, this thing, and it's not real. But guess what, family? After a while, the truth will come out. So come on through here, Renee, and share with us today a little bit about you, how you got to this place, and let's jump right into it. Go for it.
Good morning. So I first started with you, for those of you who do not know, as a client. I was way overweight with no energy and just moving through life with no purpose, really, because I had lost myself. And when I met you, you told me all about Elite Stars and what it would do for me, and what I could do for myself if, one thing, I would listen, because you speak from experience. So I said, I'm all in. I don't know if you knew or realized that I meant literally that day I was all in. I remember I ran out immediately and did all the things. But fast forward through time, I did listen to you and I got in the best shape of my life. I got a renewed mindset. It wasn't just about my body, right? It was about my whole being and a new level of happiness. I thought I knew what happiness was until I had this rebirth. And that's why I love how we call our program Mind, Body, and Soul Awakening. And I was so moved by what it did for me. I wanted to be a part of making the world a better place through mind, body, and soul.
I love it. I love it. And anyone who knows me, whenever you see me, you see Renee. And I just want to make it super, super crystal clear, who Renee is and what she does and her position. Because I remember last year we were like, who are you, Renee? Like, what are we going to call you? Like, you're not my virtual assistant because you do so much more than a virtual assistant, because she's also a friend. And friend is a word that's like way up on the pedestal, because a friend, in my opinion, is someone that you can depend on any time of the day. Like it could be 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning. You can call that person. You could be crying or down and out. So she's, so I was like, okay, what are we going to call you? Because, we go on a lot of stages. We go to a lot of places and people are like, who is she? And I don't want her to be insulted when someone says, oh, that's your assistant. She's more than assistant, guys. She's like the best executive assistant there is. So we came up with this term last year supporting partner because, she supports me with everything that I do. She is like a partner. But this past week, let me tell you, and I think it's because we had a conversation on Sunday, and throat chakra. If you don't know, this week we are focusing on the throat chakra in our chakra series. Go to our YouTube channel. And when you have a closed throat chakra, you're afraid to express yourself. You're afraid to say certain things. And I'm not saying that I was afraid to say certain things to Renee. It's just I felt uncomfortable, And this Sunday I was like, okay, Tina, you got to do it. It wasn't anything bad. It just I felt our lines were blurred when it came to business, and it made it a little uncomfortable, maybe a little tough. So we had a hard, she may say it was hard, maybe it was hard. Was it a hard conversation, Renee?
No.
Okay.
I'm all about the truth. It stung a little bit, but look at what it did. Look at what it did.
I like that. I like that. She said it stung a little bit. Yes, I love those hard conversations. Renee, I got a new name for hard conversations. Are you ready for it? Because, think about a tornado, right? Tornadoes are like this, like tornado talks, hard talks, those hard conversations. So we had a hard conversation, and it was like, okay, this or this. If you had to choose to be my friend or business partner. Anyway, I'm happy to say Renee is officially, supporting partner. And she has stepped up. She's like the Michael Jordan this week. I'm like, okay. I don't know if Michael and LeBron ever played. I'm just going to say because they're both, no, Michael and Kobe. I got to look it up. My son actually had a photo in his shop. He got it painted on the wall graffiti. He had Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, like, I don't know what you call it in basketball. It is March Madness, but that's me and Renee, Kobe and Michael together. We're taking on the world. Watch out. So she's my supporting partner, and we're pushing through. Renee, can you tell the peeps what you like best? I know you said mind, body, soul, and we do all the things, guys. We have our online fitness boutique studio where we have classes 7 days a week. And then if you find that you want something a little more, like I had someone who signed up and it's like, you know what, Tina, I really want to dive deeper. I do one-on-one coaching, whether it's to get rid of fat, to lose weight, whether you need life coaching, health coaching, business coaching, that's the one-on-one. And then we have our group program coming up. As I mentioned, this Saturday, it's a free workshop. I'm going to be teaching you ways of the important, it's for a program, the 8-week program, but I'm going to give you one quick tip, how to eat, when to eat is so important. And then from that, we have our retreat coming up in May. So if you're like, oh, a retreat, yes, we're going back to Bermuda again for the second year for our retreat and all that wonderful stuff. And all this falls under the umbrella of Elite Stars. So Renee, what do you like best? If you can think back from when you first started, which was 2.5 years now, it was August when you began. What's the one thing you like best about the community? Because I think community is so important. Go.
Because you saw me. You saw me. I wasn't just lost in a sea of people. And that is what I love about, that has remained consistent to this day, that everybody is seen and heard and made to feel like they are part of this family. They don't just show up and then leave. So it's the community.
That's true. That's true. I love it. Family, we're over our 30-minute mark, but that's okay. We're back here tomorrow, 7 a.m. We have a special guest tomorrow. We also have another wonderful woman in women's history. If you're watching this and anything that I've said, you like, you love, share it with someone else, because my focus, my goal is to change the world one person at a time. God has gifted me with all these abilities, all these strengths, and I can't keep it to myself, family. I need you to help me. So share this, whether you're on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, wherever you are. Say, hey, there's this girl, her name is Tina. She can get you motivated. She can get you inspired for your goal. All the things. All right, family. I love you all. See you tomorrow. Peace and a bottle of hair grease. Bye.
Bye, guys.
See you.